that's why people day to day end up thinking, well, where's this all going and what am I going to do about it?
So I'm fascinated by the incurious. I think an awful lot of our political problems in recent years have been caused by the incurious, people who aren't really interested in the why of things. And yet you remind us that we're probably all susceptible to that to varying degrees. And then, of course, there's complexity fatigue, I suppose you could call it, in that you want to think about something and you want to understand something, but the more data that is put in front of you, the more your eyelids droop sometimes.
Yeah, and there's quite a famous phrase in root cause analysis, which is what you call the root cause is just where you've decided to stop.
Oh, I love that.
Right? It's by a guy called Sidney Dekker.
Is that, wow.
And it gets you into this whole question of, if you really want to understand why things are happening, and we use it all the time in debate, we say things like, oh, there's a systemic problem. But I think one of the things that's tricky is, so what does practically a systemic problem look like in a way I can get my head around? And I think that's partly, we talk about causes, but like, when's it ever going to end? And I think we could talk about this all day and you haven't got time for that, but I think that this is what we tend to do, is settle on a why.
I love that
assuages our anxiety and gives us a satisfying round off.
So that's what it is, and everyone's guilty of that. Even
it's part of the mix.
Even people who think they're on the right side of history might say, "Oh, it's Russian interference," or it's a right-wing conspiracy. I occasionally probably lay far too much responsibility at the doors of Tufton Street lobby groups masquerading as think tanks for the country's malaise, because the real answers are going to go deeper and go further than that. Give me that phrase again. The root cause is what?
The root cause of something is simply where you stopped looking, by a guy called Sidney Dekker.
Or thinking. It's where you stopped looking.
Indeed.
Well, look, I'm going to recommend another book. I don't know if you're aware of it. It's called Beyond the 5 Whys by James C. Patterson.
That is indeed my book.
Hey! Root cause analysis and systems thinking.
And if you want a good dinner party discussion about why did the Titanic sink, icebergs, lifeboats, etc., that's a chapter in my book.
Oh, how interesting! Because of course, where you stop looking is, for most people and for history itself, the iceberg.
Exactly, the immediate cause.
The immediate cause. Wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't joking. This really is James C. Patterson. Eleanor gave me a heads up. I'm not completely psychic. Beyond the 5 Whys, root cause analysis and systems thinking, which probably nudges you into the territory this hour of being an Uber caller, James.
Well, don't know about that, but thank you